Alright, so today I want to talk to you about my impressions of the action cam market. Now, there's a lot of content creators out there who will tell you one camera is better than another, and that this camera is a GoPro killer or is better than the DJI Osmo Action. Well, I've got a perspective that I think might rock the boat a little bit, and that neither one of them is probably any better than the other, and that at the end of the day, they're all basically the same. So let's get into it. Hey there everybody, this is Mike. This is LitF Media, and today we are out hiking, and I've got my trusty GoPro Hero 11 clipped to my PGYTech Mantis pod. And so if I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm trying not to break my neck out here on the trail. So let's talk about action cameras for a minute. And this isn't going to be a really long video, but I think it's something that needs to be said. There are a lot of action cameras out on the market. The three most notable right now is the GoPro. They've got the GoPro 12. You've got the DJI Osmo Action 4. And then you've got the recently released Insta360 Ace and Ace Pro. Now, for a majority of people who are in the market for an action cam, any one of those cameras would be perfectly acceptable. And it will usually come down to price and availability. And then probably the third thing that'll come down to features, just ease of use. And so I will say this, that as much as content creators might be falling all over themselves for the Insta360 Ace Pro, I would say that is probably in third place, simply because of the AI features and that price point. It's going to be a little overwhelming to a majority of just entry-level action camera purchasers. So then that leaves the DJI Action 4 and the GoPro series. And there I see the DJI, because it's currently at $299 at Best Buy, having a bit of an advantage. They're both easy to use, set up very similarly. So GoPro, DJI, pretty much the same camera. Sensor size is a little different, but most people won't even care about that. They're gonna go to the store. They're gonna ask what's in stock, how much does it cost, and is it waterproof, and that's probably what they're gonna go with. So once you break all that down, you realize that it's probably not stacked in the order that most content creators will get you to believe. But then if you take a step back from that, the basic function of an action camera is to do this, to video your action, what you're doing, in an environment that's probably not conducive to a traditional camera. So if you drop it, or if it gets wet, it's okay. All three of those cameras will do that. Plus, there are a lot of other, I would say, lesser known camera companies that will do the same thing. My first action camera was a Vivitar, and so that camera was dirt cheap and didn't have nearly any of the features, but it did a lot of the same stuff. Camera's a camera, right? Well, that might be a bit of an oversimplification, but in the context of action cameras, yeah, a camera is basically a camera. Because I will add this, most people buying an action camera are not going to be pointing it at themselves like I am. When I go on vacations, I see most people pointing their camera the other way. Videoing their family or their location for nostalgia, memories, that kind of thing. Share with family members who couldn't go. So in that In that context, yeah, camera's a camera. You just want it to be reliable, capture the image, be able to save it, and that's it. One of my probably favorite entry-level cameras was an Akaso Brave 7LE, and it was like right now you can get it on Amazon for $139, much cheaper than this camera, and it's 4K, had pretty decent stabilization, mic wasn't too bad, dependable, waterproof, checked all the boxes. So why do we worry about saying one camera is a this killer, is a that killer? And at the end of the day, most people don't care. So, like I said, this isn't gonna be all that long. Just want to encourage you, go out there, find a camera that records, has some features, does what you need it to do, at the price point you're willing to pay, and don't get caught up in the hype. Because at the end of the day, most cameras are just that, a camera. Oh, and I will add this. I was this close to bringing my DJI Osmo Pocket out, but because of the weather, I couldn't, because it's not water sealed. It's not weatherproofed. So that's one more reason why you should second guess getting that very expensive DJI Osmo Pocket 3. All right, everybody, so now we're back in the office and I am using the DJI Osmo Pocket 1 because we're in a more suitable environment, no rain, but just a real quick 30-second wrap up of what that video was. When it comes to action cameras, the takeaway here is that if you look at the 3 top action cameras, they all do pretty much the same thing. They all shoot 4K, they all shoot great images, you get good pictures, you get reliable, you get great quality. So across the board, whether it's the Insta360, the DJI, or the GoPro, you're going to get pretty much the same result. There's not a lot of difference. So unless you're a die-hard content creator who really needs that extra resolution or those extra frame rates or that flip-up screen, you're not going to notice. So for the average consumer, it doesn't matter. So, hey, this is Mike. This is Low Def Media saying thanks once again for taking the time, checking out the channel. And if you got any value out of this, hey, please do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, become a subscriber. I like to save that to the end so that you can at least see the whole video before I hit you up for a subscription. We'll see you in the next one.